Choose Your Own Adventure number 10, Prisoner of the Ant People. This one's got 28 endings. My only complaint with these...
You're actually live too, so you might want to mute it now.
The squirrel was magic!
Do you like zombies, video games, and risking your life from the comfort of your own home? Then tune in to Ashley's Zombies, Saturdays, 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, only on Magic Squirrel Network.
Beware your human heart. This is the Diabolical Index for April 15th, 2019, where the pages of the Uncanny reside. Corey Dawson, as always, getting back to the non-entry episodes with the fabulous Choose Your Own Adventure. Just give me a book cam real quick, if you can. Sorry. By popular demand, we got Prisoner of the Ant People. Choose Your Own Adventure, number 10. R.A. Montgomery, back from the old days. I guess the original was made in 1983. So it says it's been revised since then. So hopefully it hasn't been revised too much. With these Choose Your Own Adventure books, I'm always afraid that they've dumbed things down, kind of like with the PG movies, the PG films from the 70s and 80s. If you look at them, they look more like PG-13 and sometimes even R-rated films. So it's difficult to tell with these, and sometimes we get into them and they can be a little bit more muted than I would like. But since it's kind of fun and games tonight, there were a few shout outs I want to make sure I didn't forget. Roman Joe Sart's Horrors and Fiends. Make sure to check out the Indiegogo for that. It may be over. I'm not sure. Wrapped up already. But keep your eye open for Horrors and Fiends out there. I think that they may have been on for some live updates and things. So keep your eyes peeled for that with Studio 605 website, and also with Stranded from Concept Media. Definitely check that out. The Indiegogo is still in place, right? So
16 days, I think.
what's that now? 16 days from ending. So definitely go to the Indiegogo for Stranded under Concept Media, Sean Burkett, and all those guys. The new Bigfoot epic, which it looks like that's going to come rollicking through somewhere pretty hardcore. Also, keep an eye open for Stephanie Hensley and Chances Are's release. I think it's on pre-order right now for her book. I think it's called Fourth Dimension, Through the Fourth Dimension, something like that. But it's about true stories of the macabre and different hauntings and visitations and things like that from the author of Dan Granger series. So definitely check that out. Check it out at you might be able to see it at Chances Are for that Indiegogo. I think it's an Indiegogo, or maybe it's just a pre-order. Can't remember. Maybe both. I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember all this stuff. Let's see. Is there one? I think I'm forgetting one. Midwest Horror Fest. Thanks, dude. How could I forget? Oh my God. Yeah, it's the Midwest Action Fest. But yeah, Midwest Action Fest, 19th and 20th, Friday and Saturday this weekend. I will be there in a panel for Writing 101, so that should be really interesting. If you ever get up to Logansport, Indiana, definitely check it out. I know Possessed Radio is going to be there. A bunch of other people, all kinds of independent filmmakers, directors, writers, actors, cosplayers. There's going to be all sorts of booths. I don't know if Harry McCain's going to be there. He's usually there with his props from horror films and things like that. He's making a lot of cool props and different things like candles and different horror-related ephemera, things like that. Definitely check that out. As well as John Cosper from Eat, Sleep, Wrestle. He's got a bunch of books on Amazon that were recently put up for cheap prices. Today may be the last day. I can't remember. Definitely go on there. Check out John Cosper's Robot Girlfriend. Big Bad Goodbye, I think. It's a group of noir fairy tales and stuff. I can't remember all the names off the top of my head, but definitely go there, check out his work. His stuff is awesome. If I remember anyone that I've forgotten, I'll get back to it sooner or later. But Prisoner of the Ant People, Choose Your Own Adventure, number 10. This ought to be a hoot. Let's see. I will start right in with it. See, I always want to do the beware and warning. This book is different from other books. You and you alone are in charge of what happens in this story. There are dangers, choices, adventures, and consequences. You must use all of your numerous talents and your enormous intelligence. That's right. Only the enormously intelligent watch my show. The wrong decision could end in disaster, maybe even death. But don't despair. At any time, you can go back and make another choice, alter the path of your story, and change its result, which we'll probably have to do at some point. You are a research miniaturization specialist in the Zondo Quest Group. Your mission? Determine how the evil Power Master has unlocked secrets of universal energy, so you may prevent him from causing the disintegration of matter. Philipito and Rindoxal, two of your research team members, have come to you with bad news. The Rimposh and Baba Ram teams have both gone missing. Should you undergo miniaturization to look for them? Or had they been kidnapped by the evil Power Master? Let's see. We got anybody on so far? I need some decisions here. It might take a minute. Sometimes there's a little bit of lead up before the real decision making begins. So I'll just start. We're a little bit, well, I don't know. I'd say we're a little bit earlier than normal, but
We're actually late.
He says we're late. I mean, I guess it's relative to our normal times, but we will start at the beginning, the way things are supposed to happen. You're sitting at home in your living sphere, a perfectly round... What?
Comments aren't working.
Oh. Well, I'll have a minute. You work that out. You are sitting at home in your living sphere, a perfectly round, gravity-free structure. A hologram generator sits next to the entrance hatch, ready to be switched on. You can choose from 17,000 different environments, and for today, you have decided on a villa in the Greek town of Minos in the 3rd century BC. That's really weird. One of the other ones I picked up was The Throne of Zeus, and Melanie was reading it to me earlier, so it's kind of a cool coincidence. You switch on the generator. Instantly you're there, or at least it seems as though you are. Your sphere is now a villa. You can hear voices in the street outside, and you can smell fresh thyme and wildflowers. But just as you're about to relax in the villa, the hologram generator cliffs off. You're back to your dull old white-walled sphere. Drat. What's up now, you say? The concealed speaker hisses, and then you hear the announcement.
Emergency, emergency. All Zondo Quest Group 2 members go immediately to command chamber. Repeat immediately.
You're out of your room and into the free-fall communication tube in seconds. You have been a member of Zondo Quest Group 2 for 3 years now. Your amazing talent with computers led to the attention of the special group of researchers, a collection of the finest minds from Earth, Mars, and planet F-32, a planet at the outer rim of the galaxy. Planet F-32 has a real name, but no one can pronounce it. For 7 years, the Zondo Quest group has been working around the clock in 3 shifts of 3. Specific. The group's mission is to combat the evil Power Master, an entity no one knows much about, who is trying to destroy individual planets one at a time. I have to show this guy. He reminds me a lot of Loki. I'd be surprised if Loki wasn't in on this. If you can give me that. Maybe.
There you go.
This guy is just about as cunning looking as they come. He's a total Loki wannabe. The evil Power Master. So, the evil Power Master has unlocked some of the secrets of the universe and is able to cause the disintegration of matter. Everything crumbles as molecules break up and atoms fall apart, sometimes with devastating explosions. The Zondo Quest group is in overdrive to find out how the evil Power Master is doing this and to stop him, or her, or it. Pretty cool. It's rumored that other groups of concerned beings are also on the trail of the evil Power Master. You haven't run into them yet. You were selected by the researchers to be trained in the Computer Organized Laser Miniaturization Program, otherwise known as COMP. They wanted a young person to try new approaches. That's just fine with you, but it has been tough, very tough. There's no time for fun, only work followed by more work. When you asked your group leader about it, Rendoxol responded in a squeaky mechanical voice.
We must stop the evil Power Master now. If we do not, there will be no, repeat, no, hope for any of us. We will disappear like smoke in the wind. We must get to the building blocks of the universe. Only then can we develop a plan to stop the evil Power Master from tearing them apart. We must succeed. It clanked several times and squished its soft plastic hands together. You weren't sure whether or not you believed this mechanical creature from F-32, but at least you'd been given an answer. Later, you check with your second teammate, Philipito, a Martian who is relatively Earth-like. Before I go to Philipito, though, I want to show Rendoxol. He's a relatively Robbie the Robot looking guy. Although it's funny because they said that he clanks and he has soft plastic hands at the same time, so he must be multifaceted. He can work on the steel and he can do things that take dexterous hands too. Later you check with your second teammate, Philipito, a Martian who is relatively Earth-like. Philipito confirmed Rendoxol's story, but he also said that he wouldn't really mind if entropy came over the universe. Personally, I find it interesting to break up into minute pieces. You never know what could happen. So we're turning to page 8. Let's see. Oh, this must be Philipito. Let me show Philipito too. I like this guy. He must be kind of like the Egon version of the thing. He's got quadruple eyes, but otherwise he's fairly humanoid. So there you go. For a second I thought he had multiple hands. He's just juggling stuff. With a slight bounce, you come to rest on the artificial grass of the research chamber. Rendoxol hovers in the center of the room, emitting its usual orange glow. This time, though, it's a brighter orange than usual, almost a red. Its plastic flipper-like arms are quietly tucked away in its dull blue and green metallic shell. Philipito sits nearby in a foam jelly chair. He calmly folds a piece of used computer printout into the shape of a spaceship
and proceeds to toss it into the air with a smile. You can tell that Rendoxol doesn't like such unprofessional behavior, but ignores Flipito. Well, what's up, you ask? Rendoxol swivels toward you and speaks.
All members of the Rinpoche team are missing. The Rinpoche team members entered the research lab at 00170 pointed phase, but have not come out. They are gone.
You take a seat in another foam jelly chair and lean back. Oh, you know, they're Minervians. It's one of their games. They'll be back. Rendoxol beeps loudly at you. It's a usual sign of annoyance.
Security search reveals no hidden Minervians in the research chamber. They are gone.
You look at Filipito. He grins. Good riddance. There were pests. Stop, both of you. I'll have you demoted, you heap of protoplasm, you low-level air breather. I threatened them. You know this must be trouble. Rendoxol only sends things like that when he's really annoyed. Now the robot continues speaking in a scratchy mechanical voice.
The Baba Raba team is also missing. Same conditions. I need volunteers to search for them. I will lead. Are you two with me? We will miniaturize and begin an atomic ray research process.
Okay, so here we go, finally. If anyone's there, I can't even tell. If you agree to go with Rendoxol on the Baba Ram team search group, turn to page 6. If you suggest that you should keep watch in the research chamber while your teammates search and be a complete coward, turn to page 15. If you and Filipito decide to form a separate search team, turn to page 13. So finally, I don't know, I guess that was 8 moves. They have a little decision tree on the back of the books now. They didn't have it when I was younger, but they do now, and this is the first vital decision. So we're deciding whether or not to go with the robot to page 6. I guess all of us will go with the robot to page 6. If we don't, and we just keep watch on the monitors from the research chamber, or if we want to go just with Filipito, the humanoid, little bit better sense of humor, we're going to page 13. Okay, we got one for going with Rendoxol. But, you know, speaking from older experience, I don't know, the Choose Your Own Adventure, they were a lot of fun. There were a lot of kind of copycat books at the time. Find Your Fates and Twist of Plots and a couple other I'm forgetting right now. They had Lone Wolf. I ended up having a Lone Wolf that I ended up selling to Pointless Paul. He came down to the shop one time.
Pointless Paul.
Yeah. You didn't know I call him Pointless Paul? Oh, yeah. I called him that one time and he was like, oh, man, I'm going to start using that. But, yeah. It was like the Castle of Ixtar or something, and we started going through it, and we never got finished, but he couldn't resist, and he ended up coming down to Paradox City and buying that off of me. He was tenacious, for sure. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Perfect timing. It reminded me of it. Keep your eyes peeled for Magic Squirrel Network. Apparently, Legends Bar and Venue is in need of some help, money-wise. I think they're on a GoFundMe right now. Legends Bar and Venue, or is it Bar and Grill?
Bar and Grill, I think.
I can't remember. But Legends...
Bar and Venue.
I thought it was Bar and Venue out of Cheviot. Definitely check that out.
That's what they are.
Go to their GoFundMe page, help them out. But keep your eyes peeled. Magic Squirrel Network might be doing a benefit for them. And who knows what we're going to get into there. There are all kinds of ideas. One of which involves strip trivia. So, yeah. Juice in the Morning. What can I say? I mean, he's the eye candy of the whole thing, I would say. Something like that. But what are our votes looking like? I'm going to repeat everything. If you agree to go with Rendoxol the robot, turn to page 6. If you suggest you should keep watching the research chamber while your teammates search, turn to page 15. If you and Filipito decide to form a separate research team, or search team, that is, rescue, turn to page 13. We got 1 for 6 so far. My main squeeze, Melanie. Anyone else in the hood? Okay, Pointless Paul. On the rankings for number 6. I think everybody's liking the robot.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 6 too.
Here comes Andrew with his always devil's advocacy,
Wait,
following the crowd.
No, I go against them a lot of times.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Ooh, Natalie, now we're talking. There we go. Off the beaten path. She wants to form... But no one's going to come out for the... Wait a second. Paul's
Twice, huh?
Paul's voting twice, eh? What's up with this? How's that work? Yeah, no one is going to... Let's see some cowards. Come on, Tyler. Let's do it up. Get the cannibal...
Cowards always just like, well, you go back and nothing happens.
I don't know, man. Like, so, you've seen with these before. Sometimes if you'll do something that, if it says, if you want to go save your lady fair, go to page 3. If you want to run and find the treasure, go to page 6. If you want to do nothing, go to page 11. For whatever reason, you go to page 11, then it's like, you think to yourself and you wonder whether or not you should go save your lady fair. Turn to page 3. So it's just, sometimes it's bullshit. Oh, man. We're not tied yet, but it's 3-2, 6 and 13. 3 of us want to go to Rendoxal's team, and 2 of us want to go with Flipito, the 4-eyed malcontent. Likes to go to the bars, you know, where the men take their clothes off. He's one of those guys. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe he likes it all. He's got 4 eyes. He's got kind of like 2 going over there to the bouncer, 2 going over there to the stage. You never know. Is this supposed to be a kid's show? I can't remember. I don't think so. There might be some kids out there. I don't know.
What?
They watch TV. They watch the YouTubes. They watch the Netflixes. Oh my God, speaking of Netflix. It's got to be worse than Bamboo Torture. Not the whole wait, let me finish first. Fuller House. I was subjected to the hellish tortures of Fuller House. I couldn't even turn my earphones up loud enough. They must have the natural volume of that show set to like insanity. Somehow I had my stuff up full blast, and I could still hear every single tinny canned laughter moment of Fuller House. May it go away and never come back. Please God. I'm sure they're fine people. I didn't see Stamos in there anywhere. Maybe he was there. You'd think he'd make an appearance there somewhere. Okay. I digress. I think last call. We're going to go with Rendoxal to page 6, the robot. Stay in the research chamber and watch for page 15. Or go with Filibito, which is our definite best friend. And go in a separate search team to page 13. So far... Rendoxal is on top. You two. I don't know. Okay. I guess if Stamos is in there, that's one good thing going for it. But apparently he's got a weird belly button. You ever seen those mean tweets?
I haven't.
He broke out the belly. Of course he would, because, I mean, he's been chiseled since Jesus was a fry cook. He's never had to worry about any kind of belly fat of any kind. I mean, anyway. I know children like Fuller House. That's totally fine. I don't want to rain on anybody's parade. I sue me for wanting someone to have, to not. I mean, I watch some brainless shit too. Don't get me wrong. I watch some brainless shit too. Not to say that it falls under the heading of brainless shit, but if anyone hasn't seen the Trailer Park Boys animated season yet.
Was it good?
Oh, man. I laughed. It's one of those things where I was going in skeptical, right? I was going in as cold could be, and I was like, this isn't going to work. Jim Leahy's dead. The actor who played Leahy's dead. This is never going to be funny. I belly laughed. I rarely laugh out loud when I'm watching something. I was laughing my ass off. Anyway. Okay. Last call. 3-2, 6 and 13. Rendoxol. Going once. Going twice. All right, we're going with Rendoxol. We're turning to page 6. No last-minute contenders. I'm with you, Rendoxol, you say. Lead the way. How about it, Philipito? Philipito nods his nicely shaped head. Except for his lack of nose and ears, he can almost pass for an earthling. Holy shit. Is this he who must not be named, uncle? Is this Voldemort's uncle? I guess Voldemort had ears.
Oh, I was like, is that what the book said?
I totally lost Andrew on that one. He gets oxygen through. Did you buy it? That was red. That oh my god, he bought it.
For a second, I thought he said he must be named or something.
He gets oxygen through osmosis, and his entire skin surface is his hearing system, giving him the equivalent of hundreds and thousands of microphones. He often claims to be able to hear atoms clanging against each other. That must be why he wants entropy. But his wildest claim is that he can hear thoughts before they're put into words. Will that come up later? I don't know. You give a fleeting look at the communications tube that leads back to your comfortable little sphere. Then you join your 2 companions. The 3 of you pass by the mechanical guards and enter the research chamber by punching in a complex 17-digit code into the digital lock. Your work on atomic structure is so top secret that you need both guards and mechanical security devices. Okay, this is in parentheticals here. I think that must have been the author putting that in there and the editor going, why does this place need guards and a 17-digit code on a digital lock? Explain that, buddy. Click. The hatch opens. The research lab is silent and empty. On the desk near the laser miniaturizer are the remains of the Baba Ram team lunch. You look closely at the sandwich wrappers. No crumbs. That's strange. Well, let's go. Switch on the miniaturizer, you say. They're not here. They must have miniaturized. I think that he was trying to break the record on how many times he put miniature is something in here. Luckily, I can talk. Sometimes I can talk. It's still not safe to miniaturize to subatomic size. They were too eager. Rendoxol hesitates.
Wait, Earthling. Should we not search here first before the miniaturizer is turned on?
If you agree, and make a scan of the area, turn to page 34. If you say that the 3 of you should miniaturize immediately, foolhardy at best, turn to page 18. I'm sorry. I'm a goon whenever I do these damn things. I totally overdo it. I'm trying to take careful notes about where the decisions that we make, because we have been forced to turn back occasionally when something either completely boring, pointless, and stupid happens, and we just get pissed and want to go back and try again, or we just get annihilated some kind of way, which has definitely happened in the past. 1 for 34, we have a really beautiful lady who wants to make the scan of the area before we miniaturize. Oh, the ladies are in on 34. They're careful. Some people say that woman, the term woman, comes from, whoa, man! I think that that may have been one of the hick comedians. What are they called? The hick comedians? No. They were called the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. I think one of them said that. I think all those guys drank themselves to oblivion or ended up working for Ponderosa. Or no, Golden Corral. Those guys need to get a job. Well, I mean, I guess that... oh, Mary's in. Holy crap. Mary's in on 34 as well. I think that... I can hear the lag on there. That guy, the cable guy, he's got other characters, though. Like, he could have come out of the woodwork. Hey, Ashley! Ashley Zombie! I hope you heard your bumper. I put that on there earlier. Ashley took a break. Have you been listening to the... Hey, Ashley. Okay, so there's miniaturization involved here, and you've got a choice whether or not you want to shrink yourself down, even though you saw some lunch left behind, and there were no crumbs, which is weird, I guess. My guess is they got. I don't want to put my theories out there, but basically the choice is go to page 34 if you want to make a scan of the place before you shrink yourself down, or go to 18 if you just want to shrink yourselves immediately, no matter what happened to the previous team, the Babaram. Cool team name, I'd say. I dig that a lot. Yeah, I'm not gonna say I got bamboozled into doing Ashley Zombie's bumper. It was almost pleaded. I was pleaded with to make it sound dramatic and crazy and put music to it and all that kind of jazz. Let's see. We got somebody else in for 34. It looks like it's going to be a landslide. Okay, 34. That's 5. Okay, I'm going 34. Let's see. 34.
118.
118? Who's that? Oh! Stu coming out of the woodwork. Stu Brown. Rock on, dude. Or some people call him Kevin. I should be saying Kevin. So, let's see. 1 for 18. You lost, buddy. It's 34. Okay, Renduxol. I'll get the laser scanner, you say. Before it can reply, you leave the research chamber and take a transport tube down to the supply room where the laser scanner is kept. Bring your jazz with you, man. How you going to walk into this situation? I guess he didn't think he was going to have to scan it first. Minutes later, you come back with a scanner, which... I'm saying this as if it isn't supposed to be me. Well, I guess it's you. It's not me. It's you. I'm just the narrator. I make no decisions. It's all you. Let's see. Minutes later, you come back with a scanner, which sits snugly in its holster on your... Okay, you got a belt holster for the thing, and it's sitting in the supply room. I think his name might be Flash Stupid. You punch in the digits on the research chamber's lock. The 17-digit code, by the way. You didn't bring it with you, just so you got to do that 17-digit code again. I'm getting all pissed off here. The door clicks open. Hey, Flipito, I've got... You stop in mid-sentence. No one is there. The guards say no one has left the chamber. They haven't seen or heard anything unusual either. If you decide to investigate the chamber, turn to page 41. If you think you should stay out of the chamber, at least for now, turn to page 50. I don't think we've got any milk toasts in this group, but we'll see. You know, discretion might be a better part of valor. I don't think I want to show the illustration here. It might, I don't know. It might end up being a spoiler. So I think I'm just going to keep it to myself. Or it could be something that some kid drew. I mean, this is obviously a library copy. It's not my own copy. So maybe a kid made a lewd drawing in here, and I don't want to show it online. Do I seem like the type to not show some kid, some teenager drawing really disgustingly raunchy things in this book, and I don't want to show you? Is that my style? Who knows me the best? Who loves you, baby? Prisoner of the Ant People. This is really weird because the... investigate, she says. It's really weird because the front of this book shows all kinds of different insects. And none of them are bipedal. Well, I guess... actually, I guess a couple of them are bipedal, but I definitely wouldn't call them... I mean, I guess unless you're using the term people as like a people or my people or something like that. I don't know. Question is, do you want to return to the chamber or investigate the chamber? That's page 41. Or if you think you should stay out of the chamber, at least for now, turn to page 50. I don't know if I believe in this at least for now thing. If it seems like if you stay out of the chamber, unless there's some kind of dire warning or some kind of exclamation or an explosion, you're probably not going to go in there for a while. After you went down and got the damn scanner. What a moron. so far, okay, Mary says investigate as well. So the question becomes, is Kevin Brown just a devil's advocate? Is he just going for the route less traveled? Is he beating on a drum with a different stick, as some people? Just for fun? Is this some kind of weird retroactive trolling? I'm not sure. Pretty cool guy. Awesome family down there in the Florida area. I haven't been down to Florida in a long time. I got some family down there. St. Augustine is the Haps. I love that joint. But if you like St. Augustine, you'll love Logansport, Indiana for the fabulous Midwestern accent. I can't. That's just too much even for me. Okay, Ashley's in. Obviously, ill-prepared for the adventure into another chamber. You got a point, Stu. Damn it! Kevin! That's going to take forever. Oh, now you're talking. What's the, what's kind of like the dish of the area? What would you say is the kind of like the speciality in Floridian cuisine? I'm not really familiar with all that jazz. We had a Floridian seafood restaurant called Shells. It was totally awesome. And then I don't know. It just went away. All right. Well, investigating the chamber has won the day. Ooh, gator tail. Now you're cooking with gas. I had alligator once, and I loved it.
I heard it tastes like chicken.
Yeah, I mean...
Like gamey chicken.
Let's put it this way. People say that things taste like chicken. Consistency-wise, yeah, maybe. Like chicken. I mean, I guess the question is, when you're talking about, like, when stuff tastes like chicken, do you think, Chinese food chicken tastes like chicken? Yeah, kind of does. Does it have the same consistency, and does it look like it ever came off of a chicken? No, not really. So I guess the question is, what is chicken? It's only chicken because people tell us it's chicken. Unless you have a farm and, you're doing it like Carl and Rick and running after a chicken and cutting its head off and stripping it and all that kind of stuff. You don't really know if it's actually chicken. I don't know what a Publix sub is. But I think Publix is I think that's like a grocery, right? Okay, all right. Let's get to the stuff. I keep rattling on, and he thinks there's a giant chicken in the chamber. Okay, 41. Ooh, went too far. Don't want to know about that. These two pages are stuck together. Oh, I wonder what that means. Okay, yeah, Mary, that's what I thought. Kind of like Kroger's. That makes sense. Page 41. This is definitely weird and scary. Just like me. Rendoxol and Flipito are gone. The other researchers are gone too. You're the only one left. One foot after the other. Slowly and with infinite patience. Also just like me. You walk into the miniaturizing room. The hatch door automatically closes the moment you leave its scan sector. The only sound is your breathing and the slight hiss of air being pumped into the chamber. You notice that the time trigger on the laser miniaturizer has been left on automatic. Oh, shit. Who could have done that? Why would anyone do it? It is a hard and fast rule. Also, just like me. Never to use the... God damn! Never to use the automatic miniaturizer sequence unless the entire Zondo Quest team is in the miniaturizing room, all present and accounted for. Before you can act... The laser... This is reminding me of Tron. I love that. Before you can act, the laser miniaturizer snaps on. A beam of polarized light envelops you. The machine clicks off and... Turn to page 47. You are now the size of a breadcrumb. In 6 more minutes, the automatic timer on the miniaturizer will reduce you to the same order of magnitude, to about the size of a virus. You look at your watch and wonder if time has been miniaturized along with matter. Whoa. That's deep. I guess that's some quantum realm shit right there. You don't know. Then you see them. 3 enormous creatures with shiny brown bodies, huge heads, fierce eyes, segmented chests, and pincers for hands. They are emitting squeaking, crackling sounds. They are headed right for you. They are ants. Before you can do anything, you've been captured. The lead ant picks you up in the pincher arms and passes you on to the second ant, who passes you to the third ant. All 3 ants seem to be making happy sounds. Oh, man. You hope you're not their next meal. The end. That didn't take very long. I don't know why.
We died quick.
Right into the I'm just bullshitting. If you try to use the powerful laser... Did anybody buy it? Probably not. If you try to use the powerful laser scanner as a weapon... Well, I mean, the damn thing had a holster, even though you didn't have it in there. What's the matter with you, Flash stupid? I get Flash moron. Maybe that's better. If you try to use the powerful laser scanner as a weapon, turn to page 60. If you give up and go with them as prisoner, turn to page 19. No. Who's going to give up? I have not seen a single coward in here yet. There was close calls, but I don't think they were doomed to be cowardly. I think they just wanted to put some more numbers up on the board. If you want to use a laser scanner as a weapon on the ants, or if you give up, or that's page 60. If you give up and go with him as prisoner, turn to page 19. I think, if I had to guess,
We're going to make them grow.
I would say that even if you use the laser as a weapon, I'd say it's going to be fruitless.
Right?
I don't know. I also wouldn't want to lose it, though. So the question is, you know, do you... Oh, no, that's just one. Damn it. He came up twice. Would you lose it if you gave up? Would it have any kind of... I mean, I guess that if you were just going to die in the belly of an ant anyway, you might as well get your licks in. Because even if you become their prisoner, sooner or later, they're going to feed you to the babies. You're absolutely right. Lasers are not weapons. Anyone who can tell me, okay, you got 2 seconds, what laser stands for, you get a free Diabolical Index sticker. 1001? 1002? No. Can't let them use Google, man. People are fast on them damn phones. I didn't even see Melanie's thumbs working the pad doing her texting or doing her messaging or whatever. All I heard is a little I thought a damn millipede was crawling up my shit. It's like, what is that? I cannot do texting that fast. And she even uses, light emitting something. All right, Mary, close enough. You get a free Diabolical Index sticker. Even though you probably have like 8. I don't know. Probably. Okay, weapon. Stay a prisoner. Okay, I'm going to give it up one more time. If you try to use the powerful laser scanner as a weapon, turn to page 60. If you give up and go with him as your prisoner, turn to page 19. Using the term prisoner, it makes you wonder. I mean, you think about the American justice system, and you think about becoming a prisoner in these United States of ours, and it seems to me that people rarely go, oh man, I wouldn't want to be locked up in a cell all the time. Or, oh man, I really hate to be in a place where they like totally monitored everything and they made you eat all this crappy food and blah, blah, blah. They never say that. They usually talk about being overcome by other things that happen in prison. So to say that some gigantic ant daddy isn't going to line your own belly with its young, I mean, Maybe it's better just to fire the laser at your own damn head if it's going to do. Or maybe you could at least blind yourself with it if it's not going to hurt you. You just blind yourself so you can't see what's about to happen. I don't know. Light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. So Mary says.
That was a Google.
Say again?
That was a Google.
Well, she did put quotes on there, so I appreciate that kind of differentiation. Miniaturization. It's been having me saying that like 17,000 times anyway. Okay, last call. If you try to use a powerful laser scanner it does say powerful though, Stu. It says powerful. So that's something. If you want to use it as a weapon, turn to page 60. If you give up and go with them as their prisoner, turn to page 19. Last call. Speaking of last call, make sure to go to the GoFundMe. I think it's GoFundMe for Legends Bar and Venue, and keep your eyes peeled for Magic Scroll Network doing a benefit. It's weird, dude. I just mention it. It was as if they had to have thought about it. It's silly to think that Pointless Paul hadn't thought about doing a benefit for Legends. I mean, they're like, or at least at one point in time, there was a poster up in here that had like Legends stuff on there. Nice save. Yeah. Segways. I don't ride one, but damn it, I sling them, Anyway. Okay, so it looks as if 60 is our winner, much to the dismay of Stu. I guess that somebody thinks that they can use it as a weapon, but it says powerful. I don't know. Page 60. The laser scanner is hooked to your belt. You twist in the ant's slippery grasp so you can reach it. The ant gazes at you with eyes that resembles a computer's intricate circuit board. That's a stretch. It tightens its grasp. Yow! I'm sorry. I guess it's more like, yow! I can't breathe! The ant seems to understand your plight. It loosens its grip immediately. Okay? You suck in the good air and squirm once again to reach your laser scanner. There it is. Grab onto it. Careful now. No jerky movements. No jerky movements, or the ant will notice. Give me book cam so people know that I'm not making this up. It actually said, grab onto it, careful now, no jerky movements. I can't see. That's enough, damn it. I don't need to go through all this jazz. You should just trust me. I'm not an unreliable narrator. The scanner is an awkward device, but quickly you slip it under your shirt so you can formulate a plan of what? Wait! Oh, this is some bullshit here. You quickly slip it under your shirt so you can formulate a plan to use it. By now, the lead ant has skirted the sandwich wrappers left by the members of the Baba Ram team. He or she or it. Man, this is all about the representation. Rock, man. Rock on. I mean, how could you tell? If you're looking at an ant at that level, how would you even know what you're dealing with there? Whatever this ant may be, although, I bet the female is elsewhere. I think that the guys doing the dirty work they'd have to be male drones, I think, right? Isn't that how it works? Whatever this ant may be, climbs down the side of the desk and proceeds across the floor. Down you go. It's terrifying. And even worse than that, your fear is the blood rushing to your head as you're held upside down. And finally, you reach the floor. Now the lead ant seems to increase its speed. In a seam of the curved wall, there's a crack. The ant ducks his head and disappears into the crack. You never noticed the crack when you were full size. The crack widens to a broad, dark tunnel. Then the tunnel ends, and you're astonished to find yourself outside at the entrance to a large anthill. The lead ant is just disappearing into the entrance. If you think it's time... That indecision drives me crazy. If you think it's time to use the laser scanner as a weapon, turn to page 111. I'm going with that, right?
What's the other one?
The other one is if you decide to go for a ride and see what's inside I mean, I guess that's tempting to see what's inside the anthill. But you didn't even get the chance to do your damn decision. That's some crap. Okay, I guess I'm putting it out there again. I always get so emotional during these things. It's because my scholarly facade just falls right off my face whenever I'm doing Choose Your Own Adventure number Prisoner. As if I couldn't remember. Oh shit. Stu's breaking out the laser he said wouldn't work. For the weapons.
They like don't want you to use it. They're like, please don't use it.
Yeah, man, what the heck? I mean, maybe the book itself thinks that's just suicidal. All right, Mel. She wants to go. All right. She wants to go for the anthill. It's just bullshit. It's like he wants to. Okay, yeah, you were talking about good save. That was a pretty good save. That's just weird, man. I mean, I think it would have been good, like, if you went for it and you're like, ha! And then all of a sudden, like, the ant just kind of, like, bats it out of your hand, you know?
And you lose it.
Oh, it looks like Mary wants to check out. See, I think it's interesting. I think the anthill would be an interesting thing to see.
You kill the queen, maybe he'll become the queen.
But then, oh, that's a point. That's what it is. All the females are saying, check that out, because they want to become queen of the whole shit. But see, the question is, this may be one of those...
There's a secret underground chamber.
No, I'm not doing that, Stu Brown. I will not be doing the fake out, looking ahead to see what's up. I know people who look to the end of mysteries. I think those people ought to be flogged publicly. I think they ought to be hung up by their damn thumbs.
Walk the shame law.
Thumb screw. No damn walk of shame. They better be walking the shame on broken legs. I don't live with... I'm not dealing with that shit.
Shame.
You have a gigantic metal paddle with shame cut out of it. And that's the walk of shame. Yeah.
So tied right now, or?
No, going into the anthill is winning. It just seems to me that it never wanted you to use the weapon, and it always wanted you to go nice hair. And it always wanted you to go to the anthill. Because it seems to me that if you try to use the weapon, he'll bat it out of your hand, and they'll take you to the fucking anthill.
It's a dark fortress.
The Dark Fortress of Flabbergarden.
I was kind of going into Kinger Black and Moist there. Actually, I am planning on a new Pointless Redemption character coming up soon. They actually broke from their pattern. They were using my titles on every one so far, and then they just recently broke pattern, and I knew it couldn't last forever. So, anyhow, last call. If you think it's time to use the laser scanner as a weapon, maybe it is just a laser pointing. That would be pretty funny.
My eyes, help me!
Turn to page 111 for the scanner. Use as a weapon. If you decide to go for a ride, see what's inside the anthill with the ladies, turn to page 86.
You want to go to the anthill?
I kind of do. I totally recommend. I'm sorry that... Maybe I'll see if I can't find the name of it. There is a story. Well, number one, I totally recommend Project Gutenberg anyways. For a while there, I had one of the earliest... I had one of the earliest e-readers known to man. My mom had gotten me one called Literati. It was called a Literati. And I still use it from time to time. I actually downloaded... it helps. When you use nothing but obsolete technology, it helps to have obsolete technology to go along with that. So I ended up having that as the manual for the register in the shop, because the register is like out of date too. So I ended up putting the manual on it. So I had a use for it, you know. But it has like all these little buttons at the bottom. There was no touchscreen. It was embarrassing. My nephews came over and they were like, "What does this do?" And I was like, "There are buttons down there." It kind of looked like a Bluetooth at the bottom or something. I don't know. But anyways, I totally recommend Project Gutenberg. Because you can find all kinds of little known stories that came from pulp history, from different magazines and whatnot, that might not be released in any kind of anthologies or anything like that in modern times, but they re-release it for free. I think this is it. There's one called The Raid of the Termite. The Raid on the Termites by Paul Ernst. Okay? The Raid on the Termites by Paul Ernst. Totally go to Project Gutenberg. It's all free. And download that story and read it. It's from an old pulp magazine, and it is awesome. It is awesome. When I picked Prisoners of the Ant People, I asked around to see what everybody would like, but when I picked it, I was thinking of Raid on the Termites. In fact, I think that I might actually re-download that tonight and read it again. It is awesome. If I didn't say that before. It's gory. It's crazy. It kind of gives you a look into... People kind of underestimate 1920s, 1930s writing. I don't know if they all think it's like, gee willikers, and gosh, oh my gosh. I don't know if, we can't make it through the plains because of those engines and shit. Like, no. There are a lot of cool ideas. I think if I remember correctly, this guy, he's like I think he's a scientist, and he's like an entomologist. So he wants to study the termites. But then, like, I can't remember, like, if his father, I can't remember. Something happens, but he goes into the termite hole, and it is awesome. Raid on the Termites, Paul Ernst. You will not be disappointed. Trust me. Okay. Looks like, just like Paul Ernst, we are going into the anthill. Page 86. I may have lost everyone with my craziness. We'll see. You lie quietly as possible, not moving a muscle, and taking only shallow breaths, kind of like that guy in Harlem Nights gets stuck in the safe or the vault. Seen that? Harlem Nights? Do yourself a favor, it's funny in hell. This is dangerous, but what an opportunity. A journey into the unknown world of the ant kingdom. Your ant loosens its grip somewhat, and you are thankful for that. You say, "Thank you, Anthony." Then it carries you into the anthill and drops you to the ground. All you can see are ants. The anthill is a storehouse, and you are being stored. The ant who brought you to this awful place is relieved by two smaller brown-red ants. They stand guard at the entrance to the tunnel. You collapse in a heap, tired and frightened. You wake up several hours later. You're stiff and hungry. Just like me. It takes several seconds to realize where you are. Just like me is kind of like my, that's what she said, I guess. It takes several seconds to realize where you are, and the realization is terrifying. If you wake up somewhere you don't know and you're stiff and hungry, you're bound for bad things. The realization is terrifying. Only if you could fall back to sleep and wake up later, safe and sound in your living sphere. Psst. Psst. What is it? Who is it? You wonder. Then it comes again.
Psst. Is that you, Earthling?
It's Rendoxol. Who do you think it is? The king of the bug world, you answer? That was awesome. I didn't make that up. That's exactly what I would have said.
Stop that, Earthling. That tone is not right for a member of the Zondo Quest group. I will have to give you a severe reprimand. I repeat, reprimand, reprimand, reprimand.
Rendoxol, I'm sorry. I'm a little out of sorts. Where are you? You can't believe it. You thought you were all alone in this frightening world.
Remain calm. This place is interesting.
Rendoxol says.
I repeat, this is interesting, but it has not much to do with our mission of overcoming the evil Power Master.
How did you get here, Rendoxol? There's a pause and a scratching sound. Then the wall on your left crumbles, revealing Rendoxol, who's been scraping away with one of its plastic flippers.
Oh, that stupid Filipito accidentally flipped the miniaturizer switch and zap, as you Earthlings are fond of saying. Here we are.
Well, what now, great and glorious leader?
I must remind you again, you puny, short-lived, fragile Earthling, do not take that jesting tone with me.
Okay, all right. I apologize. But what now? Where's Flipito?
Let Filiberto take care of himself. I have a plan.
If you asked Rendoxol about his plan, you turn to page 54. If you tell Rendoxol that you must search for your friend, your confidant, your buddy, Filipito, turn to page 36. I remember Rendoxol and Filipito. They were stand-up guys. Of course, Rendoxol couldn't sit, but hey, they were stand-up guys. What do you say, guys? You gonna ask Rendoxol about his plan and turn to page 54? Or tell Rendoxol you must search for Filipito and turn to page 36? I guess this is a question of friendship. Are you loyal to your friends? Would you do anything for them? Would you stick your arm in a bush hog for your friends? Would you take one for the team? For your friends? What a man. He nodded yes. Despite Mary being online. But I think she's...
anything bad?
But I think that she knows that, you know, if it's going to get him across the country, he'll take a shot in the mouth.
Jesus. They're all going.
You know what I'm talking about. What's that now?
They're all going for friends too.
See, our friends are friends forever.
I think everybody should just start singing friend-based songs. And not the one from the Friends TV show. Do you watch the Friends TV show? He did the clapping.
No one told me that. Bach.
Why should I even know that? You know, I've seen a half episode of that and one episode of Seinfeld. I'm proud of that fact.
Boring.
I'm proud of that fact. Especially since the one I saw of Seinfeld, it just showed how dickish they all were. Who were the fat guy?
The soup one?
Who was the fat guy?
I don't know.
The bald guy. I don't remember his name. That's wonderful.
I don't
Jason
know.
Alexander was his
I only
real
know
name.
Seinfeld. 'Cause he's the only person.
Well, he was dating like an incredibly attractive, awesome, intelligent, funny woman. But her nose was kind of big. It was kind of big. Who the fuck cares? He's bald and fat and his dick shrinks in the water. I mean, come on. Oh, I saw that, man. Yeah, Stu put up a picture of Larry David. George, thanks, man. But yeah, George was a dick to her because of her nose, and then she gets a nose job, and it'd been great if she just kicked the shit out of him. Just stiletto right to the nuts. But yeah, Stu saw Larry David. Was it at like a Chipotle or something? I saw, who's that guy? Oh, that's going to bug me. Frampton. I saw Peter Frampton at a Chipotle one day. And all these people behind me was like, oh man, that's Peter Frampton. They were like singing parts of, do you feel like I do? It's like, will you shut the fuck up? It's like, this guy is trying to get a burrito and not have every stooge from here to Kingdom Come just fuck with him while he's trying to get his burrito. He's a musician. He used to be famous. Probably still is. Leave him the hell alone. When you get freaking... Oh, so you guys are cool, man. Here I was talking about St. Augustine and shit. It's cool. Okay. We're running out of time. So I'm going to go with the current winner, which is 36. You're going for Filipito.
Filipito, the man with no nose.
I can't leave Filipito alone. I'm going to search for him. You go ahead, Rendoxol. We'll be along later. Don't you worry. You edge towards the entrance of the storehouse, brushing against several of the dried bugs hanging on the wall.
You humanoids are all the same. Too sentimental. Loyalty, sentiment, they have no place in the real universe. You are foolish. It is your choice, but I think if you will go ahead, we will never meet again. At least not in our present states.
Ominous as fuck. Thanks for nothing, Rendoxol. At that very moment, the miniaturizer clicks on automatically. Rendoxol is transformed before your eyes, growing larger by the second.
You didn't get your bag. What a dick.
You're growing too. You and Rendoxal burst through the ant tunnels as you regain your full size. Finally, you're standing on the ground outside the Zondo Quest Center. Filiberto emerges from the ground almost simultaneously. He grins. Just like a bunch of flowers, poking our heads out of the ground. Yay, us. Rendoxal swivels around sharply.
We are lucky that Filiberto was so forgetful as to put on the time trigger, since I have told him never to do so without my permission.
Filiberto just smiles and brushes a few ants off of his arm. The three of you return to the research center, ready to continue your search for the rest of the Zondo quest group. You look over Rendoxal. Unbelievably, you think you see a smile on his gleaming metallic face. The end. You know, friendship saved you, but I'm strangely unfulfilled.
Yeah.
That was a nice happy ending that
Like getting run over by the car or whatever.
run over by the car.
Drive-by or something.
Oh! Dexters. That's what I call people who watch Diabolical Index. Look back, it happened. Go back. Do you remember what the name of that? There was, I think
it was like something.
it wasn't the crime scene one.
It wasn't?
That was really boring one.
I think it was in that one. I think
Was
that
it?
The only, we went back like 4 or 5 times.
I'm trying to
We
remember.
hide inside of
The dumpster?
The dumpster.
There was one that we had where it was going along. This, that, and the other thing. Blah, 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 blah.
Was there a detective one?
Oh, man. I think it must have been that one. Because there were kids. No, it was the... Or is that the same one? What was the one with the baseball field? Like, the baseball field was going to get dug, but the mobsters wouldn't let him do it.
Yeah, that's it.
Or something like that.
And then the mayor was like an MK.
Yeah, we like accost the mayor and we try to, like, we're doing all this stuff trying to get everybody to, like, admit to what they had done. And then all of a sudden we're just like, or one of us, I think we split up. And I think one of them is just kind of like riding on the bikes and a car passes by us. And then when we get to it, it stopped in the road and we're like, hey, what are you doing? Next thing you know, or we did a drive-by. It was a drive-by shooting. So I can't remember. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. But drive-by shooting. It was awesome. That was like the best thing ever.
And you got hit by a car or a dump truck.
Hit by a dump truck?
Yeah.
Okay, just for fun, why don't we go... Let's go back to 86. I don't want to... Somehow I just don't want to end it like this. Okay.
But what if the other people were inside the anthill? They all would die, wouldn't they?
You would think so. But we went in... We were going to the anthill, right?
Yeah, and I'm saying, like, what if the other people were in the anthill, the people that you're looking for?
Oh, that's the point. Oh, you know... Yeah, I just realized. Everybody's pretty damn happy for the entire... Oh, no, wait. Didn't he say...
They went back to search for him.
Went back to the... Okay, that's just weird. It's basically saying that you go back to where you were to continue the search as if they're not where you were. So I guess that the ant people, Prisoner of the Ant People, isn't really the full story of this whole thing. Like, the ants were just incidental here. But, okay.
Should we go back and use the laser?
Okay, so the question is, okay, anyone who's still around, do you want to go back and make the opposite decision of what we just did, or do you want to go back and succumb to being a prisoner? I don't know. I just think if you succumb to being, let's just do this.
I meant the laser where we could use the laser again, and we didn't.
No, we went to use it.
And then the second time.
Oh no, we used all right, yeah, because we didn't do the anthill thing. Okay, so I think that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to 111 and use the laser as a weapon. See what happens. I mean, I would be lying if I said I hope that we just get, like, crushed underfoot. Okay, 111. I'm making notes where we're going. In one quick movement, you raise the laser scanner, press the trigger button, and sweep the area. The polarized light hits the lead ant at mid-step. Slowly he turns. A grimace of pain and hatred crosses his face. You aim the laser at the second ant. He responds with a power emission of sound, so loud and piercing that it actually blocks the photons in... Whoa! Okay, I gotta read that again. That is badass what just happened. You aim the laser at the second ant. He responds with a powerful emission of sound, so loud and piercing that it actually blocks the photons in your laser beam. You never dreamed that a wall of sound could stop light. That's going to be Googling forever to see if that actually happens. I don't think it does, but... Then the lead ant speaks. Oh shit, this is a good idea. Enough. We've had enough of your type stepping on us, poisoning us, filling our anthills, flooding our homes, and destroying our kingdoms. Now it is our turn to retaliate whenever we can. You will never escape. You will be a prisoner of the ants forever. You will join your friends, those who are still alive, in the tunnels and mines of our kingdom. You will work hard, very hard, for the rest of your short human life. The end. Yes. Okay. That was awesome.
It's a better ending.
Yeah, that's a much better ending. Much, much better ending. It says join your friends. So do you think that it means the Baba Ram group and Nanoxanol 9?
Well,
whatever his name is.
Isn't technically it on a timer anyway? Or that doesn't happen, does it?
It moved you off of the...
Timers?
No, wait. No, because then it said it strikes it there. So maybe it's short-lived. But, I don't know. I think that's pretty cool.
Well, never would happen, so that way you don't... There's no actual timer.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's... We have more information than he does. Okay, so... 60... So I guess the next backwards... I'm just kind of doing this to kill a little time. I don't want to be much later than 11, but I kind of want to see when we went to 19. I guess that would have been from 41. So 41 to 47. Okay, so let's just see what happens when you go with him as a prisoner on 19. It probably won't be much. It'll probably lead you right back to that thing. Oh, this is great. This is working out good so far.
This is the first decision we had?
After
being little?
It's like the fourth decision that we made. So instead of, it's the one where you can either use the laser initially or go with them as their prisoner. You suddenly relax all your muscles and pretend to be unconscious. The ant carrying you does not even seem to notice. This is bad. Very bad. They probably don't want you for a prisoner, only a meal. The ants carry you through a carefully carved tunnel. The walls look almost sculpted. There's a reddish glow far ahead. Finally, the lead ant draws to a halt. So do the others. They exchange signals and then continue on, taking a branching tunnel to the right. It is dark in this tunnel. Dark and damp. This tunnel is not as carefully carved as the other one. The lead ant motions to your ant with his front pincers. You are dumped in a rectangular chamber off the tunnel. Its floor is rough, and its walls and roof are filled with what appears to be carvings, but they're not carvings. They are the dried remains of unlucky insects captured by the ants. The end. Awesome! See?
I guess we got the longest one then.
Yeah, dude. This is awesome because before... This one worked out great, even though there aren't a whole lot of really gruesome things or whatever. I'm glad that okay, I changed my mind. I'm glad that we got that kind of calmer, more
Happy ending.
more balanced, happy ending, because you win, your friends are fine, and when we went back for these little side missions and stuff, then you had a couple of gruesome endings, or not gruesome, but there are implications there of what might happen.
Too, so.
What's that now?
And you destroyed their home
Did we?
when you became big inside of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it was a happy ending for us, but we totally destroyed their whole everything. But I mean, it makes you take pause. I've taken a lot more pause in the last little while.
I just go to that today.
Yeah, dude. Like I really. Here's an example. And I have a feeling that a lot of people listening and watching won't agree with me. But we were in the living room. I guess it was just. It must have been still over the weekend because we were sitting around and it was still daytime. I guess it could have been yesterday, but I thought it was, Sunday. Today's Monday, right? Yes, it's Monday. I'm doing the show. Yikes. That's what happens. I'm out of touch. But I looked over, or Lucy told me that something was on the curtain. And I look over on the curtain, and it's like this big silverfish millipede, centipede thing, whatever. And, of course, we're like, kill it! And I've always read that having those things in your house, it might be kind of creepy, crawly, and squirmy if you think about having them there. But they say it's like the best thing to have in your house if you're going to have a bug in your house.
I thought spiders were.
It says they kill spiders, they kill flies, they like kill all of the bugs that you don't want in your house. So I try to keep them. It's hard to keep them because, of course, my theory is the more legs it is, the creepier it is, the more frightened you're going to be. Just even having, I recommend Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom. Just watch that one time and you'll know what creepy crawlers are all about. And Slither, that's a good one too. But, so anyway, Prisoner of the Ant People. Choose Your Own Adventure number 10. I think I'm just going to cut it off there because I think that was a good run for it. The other thing?
Yeah, you can go to the book camp.
Yeah. So, Prisoner of the Ant People, Choose Your Own Adventure number 10. I think that was definitely one of the better runs that we had. A lot more even run. We've had some in the past where, for one reason or another, it's just stupid decisions, stupid outcomes that weren't that much fun. I mean, granted, there could have been a lot. Oh man,
can you show that illustration that you were talking about?
It's not that big of a deal.
Oh.
It was basically showing someone like shrinking or whatever. I'm kind of sad though. I mean, it's a little, it's good to cut off where we are, but there are a lot of fun things in this book. So these are incredibly overdue, but I may attempt to re-rent this and go back again. But I don't know. I think it's kind of weird because you basically have to start in the same place all over again. So it's difficult to do these once you've done one run in them. But we'll see. Maybe I'll.
I mean, the only other decision we have is to go somewhere else, right? Where look for the other dude.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess that.
At the beginning.
Yeah, I guess it's which way do you go, or who do you try to go with? I mean, I guess it's like the initial teams. Yeah, because we broke off with just Philipto. That's FLPPTO. If that gives you any inkling of what I was trying to say with this damn thing. But yeah, thanks for checking us out for the non-entry episode number 11 of Diabolical Index. Basically, I'm going to try to be back as much as I possibly can. I wasn't able to be back last week like I wanted to. The Nut House is fluctuating right now, but I might have a couple, you think? Maybe a couple more shots in here? Maybe one more in the Nut House. I'll see if I can't do some extra credit things on the audio for the Anchor FM for some things. I
If you have a chance, look at their 404, their error page. It's awesome.
was that now?
I'll tell you after.
Okay, he's gonna tell me some kind of technical thing. But I had an idea that I might do my next one. I don't want to rush this one. The one that I was thinking about doing. I don't want to rush it because what kind of got me in the mindset of doing this idea, it might be next or it might be 2 away. I was thinking about the prospect of analyzing the unreliable narrator. And what got me thinking about it is easily one of my favorite books of all time, which is The Club du Mans by Arturo Perez Reverte. The Club du Mans by Arturo Perez Reverte. I cannot recommend that book enough. It's one of those rare occasions where you find a book that has multiple subplots, but they all work in concert. And there have been, I mean, I was really surprised, but I have seen some bad reviews of it. But I couldn't disagree more. I think it is a wonderful book. It's one of those rare books where you read the book and it's totally engrossing. I mean, for someone who loves books, if you love books, you're going to love it. If you love mysteries, you're going to love it. If you love The Three Musketeers, love it. If you love occult thrillers, you're going to love it. It has everything that you could ever want in it. And as a bonus, if you would ever get the audio book of it, it has David Warner as the voice actor for the book. And you may not know David Warner by name, but Nat and Stu, Waxwork. David Warner played the Waxwork man in Waxwork. He played Ra's al Ghul in Batman the Animated Series. He was in The Omen. He played in the H.G. Wells Jack the Ripper movie, which I cannot recommend that more highly. Time After Time. Totally see that movie. It was directed by the guy who directed The Wrath of Khan and who wrote the 7% Solution, the Sherlock Holmes pastiche. So definitely check out the Club du Mans audiobook and, of course, the regular book. And if you feel like it, The Ninth Gate. The movie The Ninth Gate is based incredibly loosely on The Club du Mans by Arturo Perez Reverte. There are some things in there. I mean, personally, I like Johnny Depp in it because he's basically this unscrupulous kind of like book detective type of thing. It's Roman Polanski. Some people like Roman Polanski's work. I think his later work is a little bit muddled, but you can try it out. You'll recognize things from the book, but they basically like sheared a couple of subplots off of it and just went with one, and it's passable, I guess. So, I mean, I guess if you think about it, retroactively, I would recommend, if you felt like it. I'm not saying that you should. I think you should read the book and listen to the audiobook and keep it at that if you want. But if for some reason you've already seen The Ninth Gate, then you'll recognize things in the book. But so much was left out or truncated or squished together, it doesn't. It's almost unrecognizable. Especially Johnny Depp's Corso is the name of the character, and he's totally different in the book. But anyway, enough about that. But I was thinking about for the next one, or maybe the one after that, because I want to delve into the idea a lot more than just, a lot more than it was just in Club du Mans. I mean, I think that you could argue that just due to the advent of Tyler Durden, I would say that Fight Club is a story of an unreliable narrator. I'm trying to think of some more off the top of my head, but it's a fun little tool to writing, and if you can do it right, it's a lot of fun I mean, I've known people who have felt cheated by that, but for me, I think it totally. Actually, There. Oh, I remember now. I remember the one. I did the book on the show. Study in Emerald. You remember that? It was the one. It was the graphic novel. There was also a moment of that in that book, and I threw my hands up and I was just like cheering at the book. I think we were actually like reading in bed or something, and I was like yelling at the book. I was so happy. It was totally awesome. Who the hell is that? I don't even want to know about that.
They just said hi, didn't they?
Yeah. Hi. I farted on some kid.
That's his name.
How you doing? I mean, it's. I've heard on some kid. I mean, that's how it's spelled. But what's going on? But yeah, I really want to go into that. Whether or not I'll be able to do it in the next one, is kind of up for debate. I definitely want to give it a lot of thought, and it might end up being a. Josh made it. We're signing off, dude. Oh well, Josh DeForge. He was coming in and say, "Yo." He is a member of the Running Scared motion picture group. Definitely check out their stuff. There are a few things I don't want to mention titles and names because I know I'm getting pretty tight with those guys, and I would prefer not to let anything drop that they might have on the back burner or something. But definitely check out Josh DeForge, and he's done a lot of videos talking about independent filmmakers, independent writers, and different people just doing creative stuff on their own terms, DIY and whatnot. Well, thanks. You got to get that gas out of your body.
No one can see it.
But
They don't know what you're talking about at all.
they probably don't. I mean, he's saying they don't know what I'm talking about when I'm looking at this type that no one knows what I'm talking about anyway. It doesn't even matter. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Definitely check out the Indiegogo for Stranded, Concept Media, Sean Burkett, those guys doing the Bigfoot epic. Check out 70 Hensley and Chances Are Productions with the Dan Granger movie, and maybe it's Through the Fourth Dimension. The book about hauntings and...
You got that book, didn't you?
What's that? It's coming. I mean, I think it's for pre-order or whatever whenever they get it done. So, yeah, I've got my copy coming. So...
You're doing a painting too? Or?
Definitely check that out. Yes. Stephanie Hensley, I won a painting at the Studio 605. I meant to show it off, but I got a painting of Evil Ed from the original Fright Night in these awesome loud colors, and apparently it's glow in the dark. I haven't quite tried it yet. I set it up in a weird place, so it's not getting as much light as I would want, but definitely check that out. Go to John Cosper's Amazon for Robot Girlfriend and others. Eat, Sleep, Wrestle, Big Bag to Buy, the noir fairy tales, and Legends Bar and Venue. Definitely throws them some cash. It's a good friend of Magic Squirrel Network from a while ago, way before I ever got here. So look out for a benefit happening with them. This weekend, 19th and 20th, Midwest Action Fest. I will be on panel for Writing 101. Still blows my mind they asked me to do that, but I don't know. I guess I might be able to answer some questions and stuff. But anyway, this has been the Diabolical Index for April 15th, 2019, where the pages of the uncanny reside. And we'll see you next week with any luck. But until then, you know what I'm going to say next. But I'll say it anyway. Keep it squirrely.
like zombies, video games, and risking your life from the comfort of your own home, then tune in to Ashley's Zombies, Saturdays, 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, only on Magic Squirrel Network.
The squirrel was magic!